Today we are going to be addressing the standard solve word problems involving addition, subtraction of fractions referring to the same whole, including cases of unlike denominators. Does anyone know what that means? What's our main goal today?
Add and subtract fractions with word problems.
Great job! So to get our mind started about fractions, we're gonna do this little brain teaser. When you got an answer, raise your hand and we'll talk about it, okay? Choose two fractions with different denominators whose sum comes closer to 1. You guys wanna come right up on the board?
Am I just writing the two?
Yep, just write 2.
Oh.
Soraya, would you like to come write one?
The magic wand. Ooh. She can get shot.
Great, so let's look at our choices. Do you think 10 over 11 is close to 1? Okay, what about 9 over 10?
Yes.
1 over 2? Yeah?
Sure.
Kind of, it's halfway there. What about 20 over 1? Does that one make sense?
It's more than one.
Exactly, it's more
More
than
than
we reviewed some of these. Let's take the time to look at the parallel task. The first choice for you guys would be add two fractions. The sum is an improper fraction with a denominator of 20. What might you have added together to get to this answer? Think of a few possibilities and write a story problem. Your second choice, add a fraction with a denominator of 6 to a fraction with a denominator of 9. What is the common denominator? Write a story problem. Now let's go over choice 1. So we had to add two improper fractions together. Who did the first question? Let's talk about it. Yes.
So I had 18 over 20 plus
Okay.
4 over 20 equals 22 over 20.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what story did you come up with to help you solve your?
So I said that you have a pizza that was split into 20 pieces, but there's 18 pieces that have not been eaten yet. And then there's another pizza that was split into 20 pieces again, and 4 pieces have not been eaten yet. And so you have 20 pieces that are still left over out of the 20, I don't know,
Yeah.
pieces that they were splitting up into.
Okay. Let's talk about the second question. Who worked on the second question? Yes,
Big
sir.
Z. I got 9 over 18 and 2 over 18.
Okay. Now tell me how you figured out your answer.
Well, 9 and 6 both have common denominator of 18.
Mm-hmm.
And then 9 plus 2 were my numerators, and I got 11. And there's my answer.
Okay. Now let's hear your story.
Becky, 11 of 18 toot zeros.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we went over the parallel choices, I have a couple questions to make sure you guys are understanding what we're talking about today. The first question is, are you guys allowed to choose any numerator you wanted for the first choice?
No.
Why? Could I have chosen 2 over 20 and give me another number? 5? 5 over 20? Would that have answered what I wanted?
No.
So that would have been 7 over 20. That does not make it an improper fraction. Okay, now for the second one. How do you know how to choose a common denominator?
Because both numbers have to multiply to the common denominator.
Yep, exactly. So let's practice one more. Zariah, give me a fraction.
1/2.
Okay. Sarah, give me a fraction.
7/8.
what would be our common denominator? What's one trick we can use to get us a common denominator?
Multiply the denominators.
Yeah? So we'll do 16. So what is my numerator?
8,
And what is the other numerator?
14.
So when you do 8 plus 14 over 16, what do you get?
22.
Correct. Which is also an improper fraction, but I'm glad you guys remember how to get your common denominators. Now we're going to go to the practice sheets. Do you guys have your practice sheets?
Captain.
Let's practice doing number 1 together. I will read aloud the question. Adam bought a box of fruit that weighed 6 3/8 of a kilogram. If he bought a second box that weighed 7 2/5 of a kilograms, what is the combined weight of both boxes? So first, we are going to do 6 3/8 plus 7 2/5. So what's our first step? Are we gonna add the whole numbers, or are we gonna do a common denominator?
Common denominator.
Yeah. So what would our common denominator be, Sarah?
40.
So what would our numerator be for the top? So whatever you times this one by 5, so it's 3 times 5.
15.
And then you're gonna do 8 times 2.
16.
Yep. So what is 15? So then we'll do 15 plus 16.
31.
And then what is 6 plus 7?
13.
So our answer is 13 over 31/40. So that's how much of the combined weight of both boxes. Does that make sense, everyone? Should we try one more, just to make sure we're understanding?
Sure.
Okay, Zariah, pick a question. One that might look confusing to you.
One that looks confusing to me. 10.
Number 10. Zoe bought a bamboo plant that was 4 1/2 feet high. When she got home, she cut 3 1/6 feet off it. How tall was the plant after she cut it down? So what form of math are we doing? Are we doing adding, subtraction, multiplying, dividing in this question? Which one is it? We didn't really talk about this one today.
Subtraction.
Yeah. So we have 4 1/2 minus 3 1/6. What is our common denominator? What we do to the bottom, we must do to the top. So what is our numerator for the first one? 2 times 6 would be, 1 times 6 would be 6 minus 2. So then you would get 1 4/12. Okay guys, now go ahead and finish out the rest of the worksheet, and then when we're done, we'll talk about it a little bit more. Okay, now that everyone's finished, does anyone have any last questions or answers we should double check? No? Should I go over the answers with everyone? So question 1, what was the answer? We went over that at the beginning of the class. It was 13 31/40. The second one, 11 19/30. Third question, 8 13/18. Number 4, 8 28/30. 5, 13 and 65th, 70 seconds. 6, 11 14ths. 7, 6 and 7 36. 8, 1 and 60 63s. 63s? That's a weird one. Don't you guys think that one's a weird one to say? Number 9, 32 and 40 seconds. And number 10, 1 and 2 6. You guys did great today. Now, what is one thing that we learned from today's lesson? One math rule. Can anyone give it to me? Yeah.
When adding or subtracting fractions, the denominator needs to be the same.
Great job. That's awesome.